Video is intended to describe a light blade stationary mount diadem or crown for a salt lamp named Terra Nueva, aka New Earth. So joining me today on this crystalline tour will be my whimsical stick figure chakra map, as well as an incandescent bulb for a distinct purpose, the concept-wise. But before I discuss the complexities of the crystalline ignition order of this ambitious project, I will go ahead and discuss the intended functionality of the construct. So seen right here is an alligator clip grounded into the primary wire of the device, so obviously all these other frequencies are terminated to one central current of the primary wire of the entirety for general ground continuity, generating vibrational compound interest. And the aspect of why it's actually on top of a salt lamp, which of course the recipient has a more appropriately sized one, but this was the closest one near me for my descriptive purposes, so obviously this is not built for this salt lamp. Anyway, I digress. But the aspect of what's important here is actually utilizing an incandescent bulb, which actually classically generates heat when current is applied to generate heat that actually heats up the salt, producing an effective negative ion generator or a consistent purification, which is very in vogue in this timeline. But it's taking that purification, consistent amplification of a bulb consistently charging and purifying the salt to be indeed the power plant for this construct, which is why it is quite critical to actually notarize in depth. And the reason this alligator clip is actually here on this primary wire is for a distinct functional purpose. So tracing this wire actually goes to the house ground seen right there. And why that is important and plays a critical role for the intended construct concept here is that all these outlets, if indeed the house or space is up to code, is on a common ground to all the other outlets seen through the whole space, which by law, if indeed the space is up to code, grounds into a large copper rod driven into the ground somewhere on the premises to serve as a ground. So why that's important also is that taking this theoretically ambitious construct and purifying the energy to a high premium, then having it consistently charged as consistent as a bulb, then grounding that into the space, into all the outlets to the copper rod, will, in theory, generate a perpetual containment field or even like a energetic force field generator through the entire space, grounded, arced, and consistently purified with the complexity of this crystalline ignition order seen here. And so that's kind of like the big idea out of the way, first things first, of the intended concept before us. Now, the big aspect also, of course, it could be quite ambitious, will be the proper notarization of this entire complex construct that is a prototype of the New Earth portal in a stationary purified format that is quite ambitious, which I will say probably thrice more times because this is a pretty interesting project. Anyhow, so first things first, on this diadem or crown designed for the salt lamp to perpetually purify and clear this energy as it grounds into the house ground is 4 different nodal points seen right here with their own designation structures. So I'll start off with I'll go ahead and discuss the Terra Nueva power pack, the entire concept of the New Earth portal first, as a good preface of the primary goal of this device with many other supportive themes in this stationary mount generator. So starting off with the primary blade band seen right here is what is considered the New Earth portal ratio or the Terra Nueva platform. Starting off right here would be golden rutilated quartz to intensify the frequency into, most importantly, moss green agate, the most stable green ray heart chakra stimulant in the terrestrial realm of obviously the green ray stabilized water element. Then transitioning into golden healer quartz, which is the lovely high heart source alignment energy. So when you have the capacity of the physical stability being highly intensified with rutilated quartz and having the golden white energy of creation be a subcapacitator, in theory, that'd be intensified, stabilized terrestrial transfer of high source energy into the physical plane, aka making a new Earth portal. So that'd be the concept, basically igniting like so on this one power pack, seeing like this, closing to a circuit right here to generate that closed loop circuit of that particular frequency. With many other supporting crystalline themes seen here. Starting off right here is a lovely piece of selenite with the ohm symbol, which of course is synonymous with the vibrational current of creation. Then black lava rock, basalt, which of course could be considered Mother Earth's fire energy of her Venus vein system at work, of the meridians of Earth of lava producing this, which is very nice. Then right here would be oceanic calcite, which is actually tumbled by the ocean white calcite. So white calcite by itself is a fantastic, underrated, full clear of stagnant energy through the entire energy body, yet this of course has been tumbled by the ocean, which means the indelible imprintation of oceanic clearing is represented here in crystalline format. Then right here is a special variety of serpentine called infinitite, which is a fantastic light body stimulant, as well as a great way to decrystallize patterns that be impeding natural healthy light body flow, in conjunction with its, vibrationally speaking, cousin seraphinite, a tremendously powerful green ray stone of seraphic nature that stimulates the entire light body from top to bottom and works to dismantle any impediments that be producing dis-ease in all concepts very quickly, and is one of the true triumphant master healers I utilize quite intensively for that purpose. Then right here is a lovely piece of scoicite. Scoicite is the quintessential stone of divinity I employ for the 6th, 7th, 8th non-physical chakra alignment and bringing a very soothing witness, calm, higher self perspective to the conscious self. Then up here is another dose of golden healer quartz, like on the blade band, to be another strong gold white light source emanation alignment broadcast right there. Then, I have to probably pop this guy off to get to the backside. One hand with the phone in my hand, and please bear with me. Anyone watching this? Okay. Good grief. Down here is a lovely specimen of ruby and zoisite. So zoisite is a lovely green ray stone with bolts of red ruby within the structure. So the aspect of ruby and zoisite, seen right here, is that the ruby is the quintessential royal root chakra stimulant of great notoriety of the red ray, unsurpassed just about the mineral kingdom. Then you take the aspect of zoisite being an impeccable heart-mind coherence engager. It brings a nice heart-mind coherence engagement with the zest for the life. Zest for life gusto ruby produces, so that's a very nice triumphant trifecta in itself to encourage the grounded heart-mind coherence, which should be considered part of the New Earth portal transition. At least for dissertation's sake. Okay. So these power packs over here, both of these are identical except one's on silver and one's on brass for the output variety of the input, which means, of course, yang or yin, output, input, same exact vibration as close as possible on two different wires for two different results. So this side right here is on the silver receptive side of what I've considered to be the love-shine ratio around Yggdrasil, World Tree, set with peridot, which is very encouraging for the aspect of growth of the new Earth as well. So describing one side will be describing this side impeccably because they are as close identical as possible. So starting off with the complementary love-shine ratio seen right here is root-weighted quartz to work as a massive acceleration into kunzite, a lovely lithium-based pink ray stone of extreme soothing divine love capacity, into the intensification root-weighted quartz, into morganite. Morganite is a fantastic pink beryl family, which means it's a cousin to emerald that is quite powerful in the pink ray love frequency. Then going into root-weighted quartz, then into the classic amazing rose quartz right here. So these three together I consider to be the love-shine ratio I've been employing for many years now in a closed loop circle around Yggdrasil World Tree with peridot, as well as with these guys, I took the time to, of course, incorporate the abundance ratio underneath the tree right here, consisting of emerald, root-weighted quartz right here, then with the peridot. So at the time of this video, there are 19 renditions of the abundance ratio and distribution that this is serving as a adjacent segue honoring of that exact large feat of these abundance platforms in distribution in the stationary mount for consistent broadcasted, accelerated, most importantly grounded into reality output. So that's why these guys are here for the abundance ratio. And also, of course, the green terrestrial ray has a great transference with the compatible high heart pink ray stimulation. Anyway, so moving on to this power pack over here, where I indeed use the Auger clip right here. First things first, talk about the mother guy in the room. This is a special piece I actually had to wait for quite a while from the UK to be received, but this is an impeccable homage to Mother Earth from the UK that was of the essence to truly honor Mother Gaia in the New Earth portal, seen right here. So of course she is the showcase front and center, and thank goodness she fit impeccably on this one power pack over here. So this power pack is designed to be rather versatile in its nature, to be a very encompassing full light body generator, or basically a full chakra stimulant in its own right on perpetual circuit. And at the bottom right here in the blade banding is that of the abundance ratio thus far. So, of course, that'd be clear quartz, emerald, rutilated quartz, peridot, golden healer quartz, just like the other abundance ratios in 19 distribution. That is the exact abundant ratio that has basically been widely prolifically expanded upon in this time period before this video took place. So now, I'll go ahead and discuss the primary blade band ignition sequence, starting off from the root all the way to the crown and then beyond. So starting off with ruby, the quintessential root chakra stimulant mineral kingdom, going into rutilated quartz to accelerate the frequency through the whole blade band, going into carnelian, a lovely orange ray sacrum stimulant that stimulates also the base and the solar plexus, but a lovely classic Egyptian utilization of orange ray magic, to put it lightly, as well as tiger's eye right here to be the quintessential solar plexus stimulant, as well as a liner lower 3. Then down here will be peridot, like mentioned before, a great third and fourth chakra growth stimulant. Then, of course, emerald right there, a quintessential abundance green ray heart chakra stimulant. Then going into aquamarine, the cousin to beryl of the same family and hardness of the fourth and fifth water elemental spectrum. Then going into lapis lazuli. Lapis is the quintessential stone of Egypt for magical utilization of 5th and 6th chakra wind elemental composition. Then going into amethyst, misspoke, that actually be blue sapphire right there for another wind elemental 5th and 6th chakra stimulation of great royal notoriety. Then this actually would be Orlite 23, which is an exotic variety of amethyst found only one mine in the Cave of Wonders, which has 23 different minerals in the amethyst structure. That makes it quite exotic compared to common amethyst, which I will omit the 23 elements because that'd take probably 10 more minutes. This right here would be blue hemimorphite. White blue hemimorphite is a fantastic 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th heart-mind coherence stimulant. Then this would be sunstone, the quintessential feldspar-based masculine variety of the sun energy of masculine 3rd and 2nd chakra stimulation. Then going into labradorite, its cousin, which is a fantastic, powerful 3rd eye wind elemental stimulant of great magical capacity. Then going into rainbow moonstone, the feminine cousin to this trinity, which is a very powerful full light body stimulant as well, and particularly of the yin. So you can think of the yang, the yin, and the shadow basically balanced in this trinity right here to kind of round out the entirety of what I consider the miracle ratio for the full unified stimulation. And so in this aspect also, the subcapacitation agent has rutilated quartz as well as golden healer quartz offset through the entire structure to have that gold white light source energy alignment and intensification simultaneously. Now I gotta be able to notarize what's behind Mother Gaia. So this right here will be a lovely piece of black tektite, a product of nuclear meteorite impacting sand, which is in its own right, a very powerful light blade activator from the ground up, thank goodness, to be a full vibrational threshold increasement, which is very nice for raising vibrations from the ground. Then right here is a lovely Lemurian clear quartz, which serves as the main heart of the construct behind Mother Gaia, to be the neutral programmable carrier of the device. Then over here is another dose of golden healer quartz to have another homage intensification of the gold white light, that of the source of creation, which metaphysically speaking is rather irreplaceable. Then up top right here would be 2 pieces of Tibetan black quartz, which is a fantastic full light body stimulant from Tibet, which actually works as one of the great master healers I utilize for full light body stimulation that will be very conducive for the grounding of high frequency Om energy, as well as intensive spiritual expansion simultaneously. Why I consider a master healer is that the stimulation of the entire chakra calm is covered very well with this lovely Om resonant frequency crystal from Tibet, a region of the world with unbroken spiritual lineage and excessive utilization. Then right here would be smoky celestial quartz, seen right here. Can't the photo behave itself? Smoky quartz is a fantastic grounder of negativity into positivity, but yet the celestial structure also makes a very powerful auto-regulation sequence of the device, which means it works like a dimmer switch to ensure the comfort frequency pitch for the environment is maintained with equilibrium, which I will just go ahead and keep on cruising after that, because that's a whole long dissertation to itself. Now I have to actually pop this guy off again to notarize this down here. So right here is fulgurite. Fulgurite is petrified. Gotta get this diadem to behave itself. Goodness. Fulgurite is a product of lightning, literally striking sand, carrying the energy of lightning, which was a very powerful shamanic tool for First Nation shamans, who would use this to intensify their prayers back to spirit or back to creator for service to the tribe or the people or creation at large. As well as it is a fantastic full light body stimulant in its own right to intensify the entire chakra calm with literally lightning force. Then right next to that would be its master healer complementary component right here of star argonite. Star argonite is a fantastic calcium-based full light body stimulant that works very quickly to dismantle any patterns of impediments from the fully functional light body field, which of course in trifecta with the seraphinite mentioned over here, as well as the Tibetan black quartz, the star argonite, I utilize those 3 quite frequently for the triumphant trifecta of the master healing capacity they have, and then of course they work together to generate vibrational compound interest, basically of course carrying the same pathway of dismantling patterns of dis-ease from top to bottom of the auric field, which in theory would perpetuate a very healthy energy field, which is the domain of our manifestation of reality. Anyhow, moving on once again. I have to always police myself from massive digressions in these videos. So, and it's actually much more difficult to get the proper angles in the camera than I anticipated before I embarked on this endeavor. So right here would be also serpentine from Mount Shasta, literally from the riverbed right here to the tip of my pen, which of course is a nice Shasta frequency that is working as a massive Kundalini activator in its own right. And that'd be the basics of those guys. Okay. Did I get everything over here? Okay, so I saved these parts for last, intentionally in these videos for a context, discussing the wooden cores utilized, as well as the selenites and the kyanites for a good comprehensive capstone for a dissertation. So both of these power packs are set on wood, but it's actually Palo Santo, which translates to holy wood, which always smells delicious because it's literally holy wood, and makes for a nice self-purification process for this entire vibratory output. Even though it's designed to be consistently purified, why not? Add a little layer further of purification, goes a very long way for the core of the device itself. Then, the aspect of where the selenites truly shine, seen on both of these power packs over here, is the aspect of selenite is a master healer in its own right as well. By being a tremendous 6th, 7th, 8th, all the non-physical chakras back to one's Godhead, in alignment to the conscious self, could be considered a powerful two-way bridge to one's highest self in conscious self parameters. as well as with that high frequency induction, makes for a very fantastic high frequency purification of stagnant energies for the entire chakra column. That is the grounds for being considered a master healer as well in the mineral kingdom. But the part that always is one of my favorite things to discuss in a video for conceptual sake is that it takes this entire closed loop frequency pitch of what's been mentioned thus far, and it can take all these frequencies and purify all these frequencies. It can harmonize all these frequencies to ensure equilibrium, as well as intensify. So when you take the aspect of the entire circuit being purified by the selenite, intensified, amplified, then of course, perhaps most importantly, harmonized for equilibrium's sake, that is always the grounds for a truly triumphant spirit tool. I always say that because I never I never get tired of that, because I consider that to be very on point of what's relevant with these endeavors. Then the aspect also of both sides, for that matter, are both equipped with black kyanite, seen right here. So kyanites in the mineral kingdom are the most rapid transfers of energy in the mineral kingdom, in my humble opinion. So having the black kyanite exclusively encourages the grounding contact patch into the earth for reprocessing, and most importantly, to be a crystalline contingency to make the conceptual magic real. Otherwise, it would just be hearsay, but tangibility is the prerogative here. So the aspect of bringing the energy into Earth to generate, and most importantly, consistently bridge and ground the new Earth portal into reality is why black kyanite was exclusively utilized for this construct. So like I mentioned, that's where the selenites and the kyanites have been mounted there intentionally for that purpose. And, okay, I was also saving this for last two to be a good preface. Actually, no, sorry. A capstone. I misspoke. Obviously, it's been 21 minutes of excessive ranting about crystalline structures and far-out concepts. I beg everybody's pardon. So, last but certainly not least, the foundation of the entire construct of the diadem is seen right here in this window of the transmutation ratio, seen right here and here, on both the brass and silver, to be the output-input polarity of the exact same ignition order, as much as absolute possible, of smoky quartz and hematite in conjunction, which is what I consider the transmutation ratio that I've been employing religiously for a long time now in my vibrational engineering endeavors for a very good purpose. So hematite is an iron-based mineral that strongly grounds all excess energy through the root chakra into the earth stars, into the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing. In tandem with smoky quartz, doing much of the energetic pathway same configuration, or I guess same energetic pathway stimulation would be the best way to put that, grounds all the excess energy through the root into the earth for reprocessing. So the two together is what I consider to be the quintessential transmutation ratio, for they both work in tandem together to ensure all the excess energy or stray radial energies are firmly grounded through the root into the earth for reprocessing, which can be considered energetic perpetual dialysis or transmutation negativity into positivity by constant earth ground recycling, which is obviously tremendously advantageous for any disposition. So the reason they, of course, are on brass and silver, like I mentioned, is for the output of that transmutation ratio as well as the input of that ratio in even succession balance for the entire construct, as well as this lovely green leather setup on these four quadrants in between the power packs is intentional for a green ray installation. So that's a way, of course, to be a color therapy resonant generator of the green ray, which is the prerogative of the Terra Nueva project. That's A. B, it's also an insulation condenser of the energy, so of course it can contain the energy to the next power pack, recycle, and be a further more efficient energy platform to mitigate energy leaks, if you would, as much as possible with this relatively primitive rendition, as far as I'm concerned, for what's going on the galactic stage. Pardon my digression. Moving on. It has, of course, the two tones of celadon and green, and also, of course, 3, it's a way to protect these blade band ignition sequences as they run in a perfectly circular format as much as possible. And D, it's also a very nice aesthetic completion that, of course, is a nice homage to the primary goal of the green ray stabilized into creation. So that would be the entirety of the Terra Nueva platform stationary diadem notarized in crystallization order. So that's great and all. And now it's time to have a a contextual summary of the entire concept. So with all these different variables of exotic nature in one closed-loop reactive circuit, and like I mentioned, most importantly, amplified, purified, and then grounded, utilizing the electrical engineering mainframe of a house that anyone in a house or a commercial space, for example, will be in. So by taking that man-made existing grounded connection point through all of the outlets that, by law, must have a copper rod driven in to the space, otherwise it's not up to code, and just utilizing that man-made pylon for this mainframe generator to keep it perpetually purified, which of course will intensify the output, then ground it through the whole space simultaneously, which, like I mentioned about 26 minutes ago, is, in theory, a perpetual containment field energy shield generator, which is pretty neat, at least conceptually to speak out loud of such subjects. And, most importantly, is that of the New Earth Portal concept. So, of course, the name says it all, and the different crystalline components here are designed to, of course, back up the intentional concentration of Terra Nueva. And this piece was quite fantastic, and to my chagrin, it took a long time to get it from the UK, and I finally got it today for this video. I immediately installed it upon the delivery, which with the impetus of a child, I got installed, then I was prepared for the video, because I've been waiting a long time personally for this last capstone of truly a great homage of Mother Earth, represented in great focus with this entire device. So I believe that would be a pretty good conclusive summary of this complex construct. Like mentioned thrice, just to really reiterate the important points here, is designed to always live on a incandescent bulb, most importantly, because LED lights, of course, may illuminate the structure, but they actually won't generate the classic heat, which will be way less effective for the intended purpose of actually heating salt to be a consistent purification, to, of course, charge this at wide open throttle capacity at a consistent yield, literally as consistent as a bulb's heat emanation, is how the purification can actually charge, then recirculate the energy into the house ground to, of course, conjoin all the outlets together to contain the entire space, grounded into the rod somewhere on the premises, which is the big prerogative, which in theory would also be a great way to energetically alter a space and make the magic real, used based on tangible, man-made electrical engineering, quite simply. And the entire concept here of like the summary of all these different crystals mentioned thus far is to be a very versatile stationary mount device that covers all octaves of what would be in theory a very conducive healing space that'd be very conducive to a healed, perfected auric field, most importantly at a consistent rate for an entire space. More than just an energy invocation or a flux of energy, it'd be a consistent stationary generator. That's what makes this endeavor rather exciting. At least just say it conceptually. And one thing I did actually forget to mention, but thank goodness I caught it before I signed off. On this Terra Nueva construct as well is a prominent blue ray generator lateral band, consisting of Larimar to be a fantastic 5th and 6th chakra stimulant, going into clear quartz into the lovely and famous turquoise, seen right here. Turquoise is a fantastic 5th chakra stimulant that is quite literally a favorite of millions for thousands of years for good reasons, and is world famous, but I will digress because I've been speaking enough on many different vast subjects. But the point of turquoise also, it makes for a fantastic 5th chakra focus of wholeness of earth, fire, water, and wind in the stabilization there. That's why First Nation reverence is that of an ancient grandfather ally for good reason. Clear quartz seen right here to be a neutral subcapacitation of the energy into lapis lazuli, a quintessential stone of Egypt, 5th and 6th chakra stimulant. Clear quartz then into white blue hemimorphite, which is also actually a great 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th chakra stimulant, which I already mentioned before on the other bands of these two, but it's worth my due diligence, obviously. And that actually would for sure be it. I will take one more circle around to make sure that nothing is omitted in this comprehensive crystalline tour thus far. Okay, that would be everything. With the love shine ratios already mentioned around there, the miracle ratio power pack with Mother Gaia seen right here, which thank the Force fits in perfect scope and scale. It's very, very nice. The fitment right there. And by golly, I believe that'll be it in just about half an hour's time, actually. Well, 1,000 blessings to anyone watching this, and may you have a new Earth portal beautiful day.